The Vet is a poem written by the poet Guy Bohos. To be a successful and competent vet needs knowledge exceedingly wide, for each of the patients is likely to get possesses a different inside. Competent means having very good knowledge and ability. Exceedingly means very much. A different inside means different types of size of organs inside the body. In the first stanza, the poet says that if a person wants to become a successful and competent vet, he needs to have a very good knowledge about all kinds of animals. The poet also says that each and every patient will comes to visit to the vet and will see every animals that has different types of size of organs inside the body. He must know why the cat is refusing her milk, why the dog is not eating his bone, why the coat of the horse is not shining like silk, why the parrot does nothing but groan. The word groan means make a sound of pain. In the second stanza, the poet says that the vet must have knowledge and must understand problems and illnesses about the cat refuses to drink her milk, the dog refuses to eat the bone, the coat of the horse is not shining like silk, the parrot does nothing but makes a sound of pain. The vet is called immediately to all these kinds of problems and illnesses which the animals were suffering. Why the ducks and the chickens are failing to lay, why so faint the canary bird sings, and if he is called to the zoo, he must say an incredible number of things. Incredible means unbelievable. In the third stanza, problems and illnesses of different types of birds are mentioned. In the third stanza, the poet says that the vet must have knowledge and must understand the problems of ducks and chickens to lay eggs. The vet must also be aware and have the knowledge of why the canary bird sings so softly. And if the vet is called to the zoo, he will explain patiently to the people and will have to be said an unbelievable number of things. If the lions caught a cold, if the zebras getting hold, if the centipede has trouble with his feet, if the hippos feeling ill, if the bisons got a chill, if the arctic fox is suffering from heat. Centipede means a small, long, thin creature with many legs. Bison means American buffalo. In the fourth stanza, problems and illnesses of different types of wild animals are mentioned. The wild animals mentioned are lion, zebra, centipede, hippopotamus, bison, and Arctic fox. The poet says that the vet must have knowledge and must understand the problems and illnesses of different types of wild animals mentioned in the fourth stanza. The vet is called immediately to the zoo to explain to the people and to solve the problems and illnesses of different types of wild animals. If some virulent disease has attacked the chimpanzees, if the tortoise has not stirred for several years, if the bear's too full of buns, if the cobra eats her sons, if the panther has a wife who chews his ears. The word virulent means caused by virus, and the word stirred means moved. In the fifth stanza, behaviors of different animals are mentioned. The animals mentioned in fifth stanza are chimpanzees, tortoise, bear, snake, and panther. The poet says that the vet must have knowledge and must be aware of why these different animals are behaving in an unusual manner. The poet wants the vet to give informations about these different animals behaving in an unusual manner. If giraffes have had a tiff and their necks are feeling stiff, if hyenas will not laugh at keeper's jokes, if the monkeys pinched his tail, if the rhinos looking pale. The word a tiff means a quarrel. The word keepers means zookeepers. The animals mentioned in sixth stanza are giraffes, hyenas, monkeys, and rhinos. In the sixth stanza, behaviors, problems, and illnesses of different animals are mentioned. The poet wants the vet to give information about different animals behaving in an unusual manner. The poet also wants vet to tell the zookeepers and find a solution of how to cure the illnesses of these different animals. If the elephant eats paper bags and chokes, if the camel earth says if the kangaroo won't jump, if the crocodile turns cannibal and bites, they run away and get that omniscient, the vet, and expect him to put everything to rights. The word cannibal means one who eats human flesh. The word omniscient means one who knows all and everything. The animals mentioned in 7th stanza are elephant, camel, kangaroo, and crocodile. The poet is speaking about the behaviors of different animals mentioned in the 7th stanza. If the elephant eats paper bags, it causes a blockage in his throat. The camel earns his the kangaroo won't jump, the crocodile turns to eat human flesh and bites. If all these animals are behaving in an unusual manner, the zookeeper runs and calls to the vet immediately to give information about these animals behaving in an unusual manner. The vet will find solution to the problems and behaviors of these animals. Profoundly, I pity the vet who must learn such a very great deal for his pay. My son, I advise you most strongly to earn your living an easier way. Don't attempt to attend the zoological crowd. A far more advisable plan is to call yourself doctor and so be allowed to treat the illnesses of man. The word profoundly means greatly, deeply. In the last stanza, the poet felt very pity to the vet. The job of a vet is so difficult that he must learn and work very hard for getting his salary. Finally, the poet advises the reader to earn his living in a simple and easier way. He must not to try to attend the zoological crowd. The poet also advises the reader to call yourself doctor to treat the illnesses of man instead of going to attend to the zoo. If you understood this English poem, give us the feedback or comments. Subscribe the channel, like and share. Thank you.